Troy Francis in Mexico City. How do I know if she is seeing other men? Well, here's a clue for you. If you haven't made it exclusive and you are casually dating, then she probably is seeing other men. So there you go. That's it. That's the end of the video. I'm only joking, of course. Yeah, look, here's the thing. I mean, until you have made things exclusive with a woman, then you've got to assume she's probably dating around. Okay, she probably is seeing other guys. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that she's sleeping with them, getting intimate with them, but she probably is keeping her options open, and she probably is meeting other guys at least, or talking to them, okay? And that is just the reality of today's dating world. And to be fair, it's been a reality in the dating world, I think, for a while. I mean, all of these things have been intensified by perpetually loosening of social acceptance around promiscuity, and also the increasing prevalence of the dating apps and Instagram and all of that. But I think it's always been there, you know, until you make things exclusive, then she's probably doing her own thing. And, you know, to be fair, you should also really be doing your own thing. I mean, there's not really much point in being strictly faithful to somebody if you're not in an exclusive relationship with them, because why would you do that, right? Because why would you not make things official? But here's the issue with that. You've also got to be careful about having the big conversation, and certainly having the big conversation too soon. You don't really want to be saying to her early on, you know, in the first few months, right, let's sit down and what is this? You know, are you being faithful to me? Are you seeing other guys? Blah, blah, blah. And I want this to be a serious long-term relationship and all of that, because you're in danger of coming across as a bit needy, you know? And depending on the woman and depending on her, maybe her age and her circumstances and her attitudes to these things, you know, there's a danger you're going to put her off, because she's just going to think, well, hang on, this guy's, you know, like, I'm not in the market for a relationship right now. This guy's a bit needy. He's trying to lock me down, and she may not find that attractive. So you've got to bear that in mind as well. This is the tricky part. And in a way, we've all signed a sort of Faustian pact, if you like, in that the accessibility of intimacy, the accessibility of sex is now greater in 2023 than it's ever been before in the history of the world, okay? The general loosening of morals, if you want to call them that, or, you know, the changing attitudes towards sex. In many ways, we are living in the most abundant sexual period in the history of the world. But with that, of course, comes problems, and one of those problems is people's lack of desire to commit, let's say. And men, yes, I did a video talking about men not wanting to settle into serious relationships, so that's one thing. But it affects women as well, and particularly younger women who are in their sort of prime of life, don't necessarily want to, I mean, in fact, I would say quite rarely want to settle down with one guy, okay? Because they are experiencing the fruits of their beauty and their youth and so on. And why would they want to settle themselves with one dude? Okay, now, of course, you know, I mean, you can't always generalize. I mean, things happen, people are different, but by and large, in today's dating market, you need to be cognizant of the fact that an attempt on your part to tie her down, let's say, too quickly can misfire, all right? So what do you do? So what do you do in those early stages if you like her, but you're not going to have that conversation? Well, I don't have a perfect answer to that, I'm afraid. I think it depends really what it is you're looking for. I mean, look, if you're just casually dating, and she may or may not be, you know, dating around on the side as well, and you're not really bothered because you're not looking for anything serious, then there's not really a problem, you know? There's not really a huge problem because whatever, right? I mean, what she's going to do, what she's going to do, you're going to do what you're going to do, and it's probably not going to last for very long anyway, okay? So there's that. If you're hoping for something more serious with her, then that, of course, does become a problem. But I would suggest that the real issue is going into the new relationship, nascent relationship with her, wanting it to become serious anyway. I think that's where the problem lies. I think it's far better for you to go into every new relationship or every budding relationship without having any expectation or without having any real desire either way for it to either become long-term or not. I think it's far better to go into these things with a completely open mind, allow things to develop organically, and basically just sit back and kind of watch what happens, okay? Watch what she does. If she is into you and it's looking like this thing's going to be reciprocal, then she's going to be making time with you. She's going to be giving you the prime days of the week, you know, the weekends or whatever. And she's not going to be interested, quite frankly, in looking around for other guys or, you know, going to the club until 4 a.m. every night or whatever, because she's going to be happy with you. But if, you know, you're seeing red flags, then you've just got to consider, well, maybe actually this woman is not the right person for me to consider going into something serious with anyway. So rather than, and look, I know it's tempting because you meet her and she's beautiful and she's fun and you guys really get on and you think, oh great, so she could be the one. She could be the one that I'm looking for. And then you try to engineer that, you know, you sit down with her and you have the conversation and say, right, we're going to be faithful to one another now and it's going to be a serious relationship and all of that, but really, what is that? Really, that's scarcity mentality, isn't it? The reason you're doing that is because you don't think that you're going to find anybody else as good as her. So it's a bit like, right, I've got to get off the carousel now, this is the one, I'm going to make it work with her. But that, I don't think, is the right way of going about it, because you can't force anyone else to do anything. You know, you can say, this is the kind of relationship I would like to be in with you, but if she wants to play around, if she wants to see other guys or whatever, then there's nothing really in practice that you can do about that. So I think it's better to observe the person's behavior over a period of time. I mean, we're not talking about over a week, we're talking about over months or even a year or years. Observe the behavior, and from that make a decision, all right, do I want to commit here or not? Because she might just not be the right person to commit to. You know, however pretty she is and however, you know, you guys like the same movies, or, you know, you both love Ed Sheeran or whatever the hell it is, she may still not be the right person. And that is why, you know, and we always bang on about this, but you need to be going out and socializing as much as possible. So you're meeting lots of new people, you're bringing lots of new people into your life. And so you're not getting so hung up on this one woman and trying to maybe force a square peg into a round hole, if that makes sense. So that's my take on it. I don't think there's a perfect answer, but I think the key really is not getting too hung up on somebody too quickly without having observed their behavior over a longer term period as it is, without trying to influence that behavior. I think that's the right thing. And then you just draw a boundary, right? If your boundary is, well, you know, I want to be in a relationship where, you know, she's not seeing other people, which is a fair enough boundary to have, then, and you suspect that that's not what's going on, then you just leave the relationship. You know, that's your right to do that. It's your right to have that boundary, okay? But at the same time, trying prematurely to sort of you know, get her into a monogamous thing that she doesn't necessarily want to be in, I think is the wrong approach, and as I say, can often backfire. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know what your thoughts are. Put your comments below. Give me a like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. For God's sake, what are you doing if you haven't? Subscribe to the channel. If you want to get on a call with me to talk about your dating life, then you can do that. The Calendly link is below. And support the channel on Patreon, $5 a month. That's it. It's less than the price of a coffee to support this wonderful, groundbreaking content. The channel is not monetized, so it really helps out. Thank you very much. See you again very soon. Bye-bye.